Download our app on the Google Play Store and iOS. 1873 FM. To advertise with us, call our sales and marketing department on 011-5684-272. Terms and conditions apply.
When it comes to music.
1873fm.com.
1873 FM.
We're jamming with the hottest disc jockey.
Hi, this is any for those who do not know, and you are listening to the Continental Sunrise Breakfast Show right here on the 1873 FM from 6 to 9 a.m. Central African Time with, of course, your DJ, Wildfire and International Customers.
Let's go deeper. Download our app on the Google Play Store and iOS. 1873 FM.
The hardest radio on this side of the hemisphere. 1873 FM.
Power, and they decided that they didn't want to do anything about it, which is why the people that now have power over them will try and suppress so that they make the people feel like they no longer have any sort of power. And yet they still have. It's just been indoctrinated in them that they don't have it anymore. Or they've been silenced so much, they've been inflicted so much with soul pain to the point that they now believe they don't have.
They're
but
powerless.
I want
You
to
are
believe that they
institutionalized.
power. It's
Basically,
just not exercised anymore.
So you do believe that a person can be institutionalized and indoctrinated?
Definitely. That's what politicians do every single day. That's their business.
So we should...
Changing your paradigm, changing your mindset, changing the way that you do.
You know what I mean? Changing your shifting your paradigm, yeah.
Serving nothing but the best breakfast. 1873 FM.
Right, 5 minutes gone after 8. Shortly, we'll be joined by Cathrine, as well as our guest for the morning. Right, we get to find out on Conversations with Cathrine what she has in store for us this morning. Cathrine, how are you doing? Hello? Hi. How are you? Hi. Hello. Right, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but we've got Cathrine as well as Nkosikona. Right, they'll be joining us shortly. Right, Nkosikona, good morning. Right, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but there's nothing guaning there, and trying to figure out where to. Right, hi, good morning.
Good morning, Walter. How are you?
It's good to be back. I've got my
I can see that.
I've got my 15 minutes of fame.
That's good. That's good. And welcome back.
Thank you. Right, you can take it over, Cathrine.
Okay. I'm not sure if Kosinati is now back online. Good morning, Kosinati. How are you? Mr. Mkize?
Right. I
Hello?
think we keep losing him there. Maybe he's trying to figure out, you know how technology is like. Maybe it's a Friday fever, technology challenges. These things happen. Otherwise,
and they do.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Right. I think we've got.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Mkiza. How are you?
I'm brilliant. And how are you guys?
Fine. Thank you so much for joining us on the 1873 FM.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you for inviting me, guys. Much appreciated.
Okay, thank you. Okay, just tell us a bit about who you are and the nature of your business.
Okay, my name is Nkosikona Junior Mkize, based in Durban, born in the Eastern Cape. We run an NGO, a non-profit organization called Kick Racism. What we mainly do is to teach people about ways to eradicate racism at workplaces, schools, malls, centers, just to create awareness about racism and how different cultures can get together. It's mainly training as well, and also campaigns. We just create that awareness, yeah.
Okay. In regards
Hello?
to
Okay, we seem to be having that connection challenge with Kath there. So, Mr. Mkize, I think the question that Catherine was posing is
to that organization.
Oh, okay. Kath, I think you might need to repeat that question.
Okay, I'm saying to Mr. Mkize, what inspired you to form the organization?
Okay. Just before I could answer that question, we're a registered non-profit organization. We're also registered with Department of Social Welfare in South Africa, and we are registered with also South African Revenue as a tax exemption NGO. But what inspired me to start the organization, it was a personal experience. I'm an orphan. What had happened was that when I was growing up, I used to stay in different people's houses as a young orphan. And then I ended up staying with a Dutch couple many years ago. And in the household, as much as it was great to stay in, but I experienced a lot of racism from around the area, from people around the area. It was just a bad personal experience. As much as I loved my family because they took me in as my guardians, I also felt that there was a lot of misunderstanding from where I was coming from, and also the people around them, where they were coming from, because some of them, they used to, do things that you felt and you could see that it was because of this, But yeah, I think it was a very personal experience. But I understood that mainly most of them, they had never had a black person so close to them, staying with them and everything. So for me, it was that. So I felt that if there was something where mostly these young kids growing up in school, university level, also at workplace where people are taught about different cultures, different races, even us as black people, we've got our own ignorances towards other races. So it's not the other way around only. So create that awareness. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. You keep on breaking. Okay, my other question is, then how do you fight racism when it's been entrenched or embedded in a culture? Sometimes it has been like this for centuries, for years. We have accepted racism as a norm in our lives. I think he has left. Hello?
All right. I think he was trying to come in with a video feed. I think he's trying to join us there, but we keep losing him. Yeah, man. But then, Kath, I think, all right, he's back. Yeah. Very interesting point there, Catherine. How do we fight racism? Do we really need to fight it? What is racism? Hello, Catherine. Kosnati, hi. I think we keep losing the TV guys and technology things. Technology is playing tricks.
It really is.
Right, Kosnati, can you hear me? Hello. Right. I don't know what's happening there, but it seems like a technological challenge. I don't know if Nkosnati can hear us here. Nkosnati, hi.
Hello?
Yes, thank you. Right. I think we lost Catherine there, but the question was, how do we fight racism, if any?
I think for me, it's all about creating awareness. Also about making people aware because it's all out of ignorance. Some of them are taught these things from a young age, and they are not being exposed to different cultures and different races. It's all about teaching, and it's all about because, as I said, ignorance with all races, there is a typical ignorance. So how do you teach? It's about teaching, having these campaigns, going to schools, going to centers, in malls, having these campaigns and being able to engage with people and educating them. And it's all about that. That's what we try to do. We also try and have our training, which is CITA accredited, which is a training institution qualification, so that when we go to them, we're teaching them something that is level with what the government says. It's all about that.
And you know what they say about ignorance? They say ignorance and prejudice are best friends, eh?
Yeah, it's true. It is true. It's true. Yeah, and most of them, I'll give you a classic example. I mean, we meet up with people who will say to us, I can't be racist. My maid is black. Obviously, your maid is black. So I mean, the jokes and things like that. But I mean, you learn from these experiences, and you get to hear people's side. And some of them are honestly are not aware of the things that they say, how they come out, and some of them are aware and they do it on purpose. So it's a matter of seeing a person individually and being able to educate them. That's what we do.
Okay, right. I don't know if you were made aware of a platform called Banking on Africa's Future.
No, I was not.
Is it? Okay. So this is a platform where individuals see value in what do you call it? In coming together and sharing ideas, sharing experiences, and I think it's a great idea and a great platform that you can also be part of. Create a community that starts conversations, and let's expand this education base that you are talking about, whether it's going to schools, whether it's talking to our peers, etc., etc. Is it something that will interest you?
Okay, brilliant. I would love that. I would honestly love that.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll send you a direct text on Zoom so that you can submit your listing as well and invite other friends to be part of this platform, and we can keep conversations going.
Okay, no, brilliant. And just one thing that I wanted to say, if there are any other people that can contribute in terms of write-up for our site, in terms of they've got ideas, we are a young NGO, so if you've got ideas, how can we improve that? If you feel that if we did something this nature, it could improve a bit more, we always welcome fresh ideas. I mean, that's the only way you could grow, if you allow fresh ideas and innovation. So people can we can send them a profile about our NGO, and then we can take it from there.
Not a problem. Right, we are trying to get another gentleman to join us on the conversation, and let's see if they are on the line. Stay on the line for me, Nkosinathi, and we'll continue with our conversation shortly.
Sure.
Right, 1873 FM, 17 minutes gone after 8.
Go deeper with Wildfire DJ.
It's usual that when you do something, people always accuse you of being a puppet, surrogate of somebody.
Right.
But before you offer yourself for services to the same people who are calling you puppet, who are calling you lesser than human, who are taking away your humanity and supplanting somebody in you. And this is the kind of demon that we need to exercise.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Emma.
Join in the conversation and let's go deeper with issues that are hot.
condition, status so dizzy. What it is meant to be is not what really exists. Imagine a world without the so-called poor. Would the rich be better for it? Oh no. Then I searched all over for an address where wisdom can be found. Oh yeah. Then I searched all over for an address where understanding can be found. Oh yeah. Imagine a world without the so-called rich. Would the poor be better for it? Oh no. We have power in our hands. We all have. We have power in our hands. We use every old. We all have.
Right. Opposite of poverty is not wealth. That is the title of the song. Right. Do you agree that the opposite of poverty is not wealth?
What is the opposite of poverty?
I'll tell you. Rule of law. I'll tell you what it is. Corner. Would you agree that the opposite of poverty is not wealth?
You see, the funny thing is that even the wealthy people can't find peace. So I don't know how to answer that. I think opposite of poverty is not wealth. I don't know. but for me, but poverty is a scary thing. I know poverty, so it's a very scary thing, you know.
Take us to the address of poverty. What is poverty? I mean,
for me, it's not having the means. It's not having the means to do anything. You know, it's very hard. You know, being poor. So for me, it's the place that I wouldn't want to be at. You know, it's very hard. You know,
it's just a condition that you can get yourself out of. I don't know. Would you agree?
No, you know, I was saying, we were talking about how people feel entitled, and I want to ask him as well. Do you feel like people are entitled?
Yeah, most definitely. I think with me as well. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I own hair salons and restaurants on the side, and I just find that the young generation, well, I would say most people, they feel so entitled. I mean, even when they start working, there's this sense of entitlement that because you employ me, this is what you must do for me. This is what you must do for me. But I also see it with the us, the generation on social media and everything. You know, we are so entitled to a lot of things. You know, I totally agree with you.
Okay.
But you come from an impoverished background, and you know how poverty feels like. Say for somebody who's living in an informal settlement, do you feel like they've got a right to feel entitled to whatever that government has to give to them?
No, they don't have. They need to work hard. They need to get out there, get the information and work out. You see, I think the biggest problem with a lot of people is that they all want to start big. They see all these things on social media, wherever they go, they all want to start. I always say to people when I'm advising them on how to start things, you must start with a little bit that you have. If you've got 500 rand in your pockets, if you come to me and you say you need funding for your business, but you carry an iPhone, you are wasting my time. You understand? Because that's funding. The phone that you're carrying is funding. So what is it that you're looking for funding? You're wearing a 4,000 shoe and you're talking about funding. You're coming to me, you're saying you want funding. I mean, what for what? So it's that sense of entitlement to say someone will come and change your life. And no one ever does that in your life. You need to get out of there. If you've got 200 rand, what is it that I could buy with 200 rand that could make 400 rand the following 3 days? You know, it's a matter of getting out there, getting the information and doing research and going out there and saying, okay, how can I start things? You know, but I need to make sure that I start. I mean, you've got friends, you've got family members that you could go to them and say, can you borrow me 600 rand? Can you do this? And they will lend you that. And then you can start something. But a lot of people feel entitled that someone will come and give them funding or someone will come and just change their lives, and which is totally wrong.
Oh, okay, right. I feel Nkosi here is a wealth of knowledge, and
yeah,
experiences are the greatest teacher. Experience is the greatest teacher, right?
Yes, exactly that. You know, I fully understand what you're saying about this start with what you have idea, but often what I've experienced, the problem is for people is they go, oh, a filling station sounds like a good idea, or oh, that kind of business or that kind of business. It's not really passion driven. It's copycat. So we have so many competitors that all have printing companies, or we have so many photographers because now this is an easy business, etc. That type of thing. So what would you say to someone who is thinking of starting something, how to direct it towards something that will really work for them and not just because they see it's working for someone else?
In terms of passion, I think also that's very important.
Okay, let me give you my personal experience and then you guys will just jump in and tell me. When I first started, I wanted to be an advocate. I wanted to be a lawyer and then go on end up being an advocate. Then my guardian used to have a lot of books in his place. So I came across a book by Richard Branson, Losing My Virginity, the guy that started Virgin Brands, you know, Richard Branson, the guy from England, the entrepreneur. So I read his book and I was so inspired to be an entrepreneur. Then when I was in matric, I already had a registered company. I wanted to start something because I was reading, I was doing research. But I was exposed to a lot because I used to work in some hotels, 5-star hotels. So I was exposed to a lot of people that have made it, but who are very humble, who are very, who will come to you and talk to you, and yet the guy is worth 50 million or 100 million, but they were so humble, So, but I was reading, doing research. I just feel that a lot of us, we don't read, we don't do research. We just wake up and want to start something just because someone has started something. If I open a laundry across the streets and it doesn't work out, someone will just come and open a laundry without doing research to the customers to find out why it didn't work out. What was the problem? Maybe I was expensive and things like that. I just feel that people don't read. And if they don't read, they don't travel also. I understand maybe traveling because maybe financially, but there's no excuse for not reading and getting the information and getting and understanding. When you read, you travel all over the world. You come back with a wealth of knowledge, and understanding people around you and questioning people. And I also feel that people don't do research. People don't do research. People just wake up in the morning and they want to do things.
Maybe it's a non-reading culture that is there. And I think platforms like Banking on Africa's Future and obviously your foundation, these are platforms where we can start having conversation of encouraging one another to start sharing, to start reading, to start researching and just having conversations just like we are having just now. Start having a conversation.
Exactly.
Start talking.
Earlier on you asked me as well, what's my idea of radio? And I was telling you that I love talking to authors because they encourage the PowerPoint of creativity. They encourage people to read, to go out there and read and relate to something that they might be going through. I remember there was a time when I went through a Facebook post and somebody was talking about how we all have a different path and we shouldn't take the same path that everybody's taking. He's talking about the fact that you may open up a laundry shop and it doesn't work out. You're talking about competition as well. We don't realize where our passion lies as people. We think because your McDonald's franchise is working out, mine might as well work out. And it doesn't work that way. We need to, as people, realize where our passion lies. We need to know what is it that I'm really good at and what is it that I'm really not good at, and research, because knowledge is power, guys. Like, I cannot emphasize on that enough. Information, research, having more knowledge, asking questions, relevant questions to relevant people will take you far.
All right. It's 28 minutes after 8. And Gossi, got to say thank you so much. I'll definitely send you that link for banking on Africa's future. Then you can submit your listing. And you can also share articles that you feel can have an impact and can make a difference to the second person.
Yeah.
God bless you. Thank you guys for inviting me. I'm humbled for giving me a chance to talk about my organization and about myself. And I hope this is not the last time. And may you guys have a lovely evening or a day. I'm not sure what, because it's the morning, so I don't know you guys.
Where
but
where are you?
I'm in South Africa, Durban.
Okay. We are in another country called Johannesburg.
You guys are in South Africa. I'm like, Okay.
We look like we're somewhere in Iceland, right?
Yeah, Iceland. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we will definitely keep in touch and keep communicating. All
okay,
right.
cheers.
1873 FM at 29 minutes after 8. Right. It's Friday. And Natalie.
Yeah.
Oh, Natalie.
Natalie.
Oh, Natalie. Yeah.
Natalie.
It's
Natalie.
It's Natalie. It's
Natalie.
Natalie. Yes.
Okay.
But then why the Natalie?
Because I get that a lot. Oh, Natalie. Or
or
yeah.
Okay.
Look
Makes
at
sense.
her.
Yeah.
Look at her. Right. And shortly we'll be speaking to Samuel Mungadzi, right, who is a journalist, and we'll be having conversations. I love having conversations, and I love talking to people. Right.
I could talk forever.
Serious.
Trust me, like honestly. And I wanted to mention something as well.
Yeah.
I love organizations that are making a great impact in the lives of our people.
Mhm.
If you've got a story to tell, if you've got an experience that you're coming from, it's only great that you try and elevate other people's situations because you've been through that kind of situation. I'm one person who loves to talk about things that are affecting the children or the youth on a daily basis. Like a child is coming from school who does not have an aftercare program. There might be an organization out there that's opened up a free aftercare program, which assists with homework, which assists with this and this and this, and also assisting with food, because there are some kids that come from impoverished backgrounds, and organizations such as Nkosi Khwana's one, they're making a great impact on the lives of people. And if you are also one of those, kudos to you.
All right. Kudos to you. Right. It's 8:31. Right. Working on my dash. Right. And when we come back, sure Samuel would be joining us. Good morning. How you doing? It's Friday. Thank you.
This is your room. You start at 8 and see it through. Working on your dash. Come and see it through. Lost control, but what you do.
Picture your tombstone. On. The fat lady has long finished the song. Born in 76, gone in 2010. The dash is the middle of the beginning and end. To say it again, time is not your friend. You need to be careful with how it's spent. Think about the legacy that you want to leave. Are you living the dash with every breath you breathe? Please believe it's not just me. We are Homo sapien. We all bleed and we all die. So don't be wasted with your straight line. Don't waste your straight line.
It's not a race, but it's a road. Long or short, it's what you chose. Take one foot to put before the other to get towards what
I've always wanted. This is my dash, and only I can do it. You may say no, but only I can prove it. You wanna worry, you wanna take it slow. This is my dash, know where I want to go.
Right, sounds of taste with working on my dash. It's 1873 FM 8:33, and we are joined by Samuel this morning. Samuel, good morning and welcome to the Continental Sunrise. Hello, Samuel. Right. I don't know if you can hear us. And yeah, hi, Samuel. How you doing? Right. We can see you. I don't know if you can see us. Yeah. Samuel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad. Yourself. Welcome to the Continental Sunrise.
Good, thanks. Sorry, I couldn't join in. I was trying to join in.
Oh, isn't no? It's all good. It's what matters at the end of the day is you've managed to join in, and yeah, man, we're pretty excited. I'm new here, you know, and I know you and Tinashe have been having conversations, and I think taking up from what you guys have been talking about and looking at the Banking on Africa's Future initiative, and you as a media person, how best do you think this platform can be utilized?
Look, from my point of view, I think this is quite an important initiative and a platform because we are bringing in the best of the best in terms of the minds in different fields on the continent to be in one place. So it's easily for one to get some important aspects of what Africa has to do or Africa has to go through in various sectors of the economy, because we've got doctors, we've got journalists, we've got business people, we've got nurses, we've got all sorts of people from different aspects of life. This becomes a very important platform because you can easily try and seek views and different aspects of what's going through different sectors of our day-to-day life from the bank. So you can easily try and get views or get guidance or get expertise from the bank. So I think it's quite important.
I mean, there's too many platforms that are out there, some which don't really see the day of light. How do you keep a platform going? How do you make sure that the platform adds value? The platform, when I come in, there is something that will make me stay there. Is it the brains behind it, or is it I personally, who has become a member of that platform, to make sure that it's sustainable, it sees the day of light?
You're joining to add value. You're not joining to see what other people are doing or anything. It's what you do at a personal capacity that will make a difference to the platform. So you can't say you're joining in to try and see what other people, or to try and get other people to keep you on the platform. It's what you do that makes the platform going. It's how we share and view the continent that makes the platform going. So it's us sharing and sharing our lived experience. That's how this is what will keep the platform going. It's not necessarily what you can get out of it, it's what you can give.
I think it's a disease that's there where individuals expect to be spoon-fed, right? And expect somebody to always contribute, somebody to always provide, whether it's information, etc., etc. But that culture, I think most things that have come up this morning, it's the culture of doing something. How do you sustain that? How do you make sure that if it's a platform, it's sustainable? If it's ideas, you also contribute. You know, you show up for your time. You step up to the plate. Yeah.
I think the only way you can keep this platform going is do you, and everybody else will do themselves. Then we can share those experiences. That's how we can keep this thing going.
So do you, and don't expect anybody to tell you otherwise. But a lot of individuals, a lot of people out there are always waiting for somebody to deliver them to the promised land, Canaan. Land of milk and honey. So I think what you are saying, Sam, is very important. I mean, show up for your time. Do what you have to do. Where you need you see a gap, just fill in that gap.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, look, don't worry about what I'm doing. Just you are on the platform. Do what you have to do to make a difference or to stand out. Because we are pushing basically we are pushing from different angles. Because if I push from this end, you push from that end, we are not necessarily, what I do here must not necessarily be what you do, because we are different. But what we have is a common goal. We want a better future for Africa, for yourself, for your kids, for everybody around us.
And what's a definition of a better Africa for Sam?
Whatever that makes my life go easy and much more exciting, that is a better life for me. If my kids can go to school and achieve their goals, that's a better life for me. If I see them happy, that's a better life for me. So it depends who you are talking to, what is a better life. I want to achieve my goals in my industry. I want to achieve the best. I want to be the best of the best. That is what I believe is good for me. So it might not be necessarily what is good for you.
Right. And when you say you want to be the best in your field, I know you are in the media space as well. What's your take on the state of affairs in media in Africa in general, when you look at Africa in general?
There's a lot that has been achieved. There's a lot that needs to be done. I think the media space in Africa is a difficult one. But within that space, people do try to make the best of the situation. Complaining might not necessarily help, but I think we have seen a lot of people that are pushing boundaries, young journalists that are also coming up, some on their own platforms, some using the traditional media to try and make a difference, to try and tell their different stories. But the only thing probably that's lacking is to tell the African story. That has been probably not been told effectively. But we're still moving. There's another way. We are still going.
True. And any questions for Sam or any contributions, ladies?
I feel like a lot of what you were saying were just pearls of wisdoms, and if you took just a sentence here, a sentence there, like you could apply those to so many different aspects of your life. It's not just what we're talking about right now, but yes, a better future, banking on Africa's future. I love that, like the concept has completely stuck with me. I want to know, how do you feel about banking on Africa's future? Like, what does it make you think of? Like, how do you feel when you hear about it?
It tells me about a better tomorrow. Because if you look about the people that are in the group, this is what composes of what Africans are. Because we are different in terms of what we are doing, but we all have a common goal, which is a better future for us. So if you find a doctor that is in the same platform as me, some they're very important people in their fields of medicine. Some are successful business people. Some are successful farmers. So this makes the place very important. And it's different in the terms that it's much more personal, because you can easily communicate, to each other. And there are various aspects of the platform that I like, which includes the stories that are coming out there. Because imagine if all of us, we've got different stories to tell. This means that Africa has got more content in terms of learning and accepting each other. We learn from our lived experiences.
No, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I gotta say, it was a pleasure having a conversation with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, 1873 FM. And when we come back, we get into celebrating life segment, right? If you are celebrating your birthday today, you've got friends and family members who are celebrating their birthdays. We get to surprise call them.
Oh, wow.
Like,
really?
Happy birthday.
That's so amazing.
Yeah,
oh,
outside your door. Yeah, last time I pranked somebody, I was like, I'm actually outside your door. I came with flowers and cakes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they actually stood up and they opened the door, and I wasn't there. I was in studio.
You silly! Oh my gosh! How did you do that to somebody?
Yeah, but I made it up for them later on. I made sure that they got the cake, and everything was back to normal.
I literally just realized that I forgot to call my best friend from childhood for his birthday 2 days ago.
Oh, okay. What a good friend you are. Yeah. All right. 1873 FM, your voice, your power. It's a Friday and hanging out with Natalie in studio. And man, pretty much having fun on a Friday. Yeah. That kind of thing. Right. Stay tuned to 1873 FM, your voice, your power.
$1873 FM.
I'm just thinking, who can we prank and say it's your birthday today? If they refuse, we enforce and say, no, it is. It says so in the registrar. In the register of birth. And today's a birthday. By Kenya. You can't deny this. We've got it. On documents.
I've got some people that have celebrated their birthdays yesterday. In fact, one of them is Kamani Kava.
Was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
I didn't know.
You know what I mean?
And we pass each other in corridors.
And we hardly said it. But it was his birthday yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right.
We got him a McDonald's just as a token, to celebrate the day.
And
so
I
it was
I wasn't part of the McDonald's. Okay, we need to talk.
The hardest radio on this side of the hemisphere. 1873 FM.
1873 FM.
I'm just thinking, who can we prank and say it's your birthday today? If they refuse, we enforce and say, no, it is. It says so in the registrar. In the register of birth. And today's your birthday. By Kenya. You can't deny this. We've got it. On documents.
Download our app on the Google Play Store and iOS. 1873 FM.
Maximum. Oh, been wondering if this sounds right down for me.